My name is Ashley McCants, I'm an occupational therapy student, and today's video is going to be on how to talk to your baby's doctor. So feel free to email me or leave me comments at the bottom. I can be reached at this email that's on here, and it'll be at the end of the pages, or at the end of the slideshow too. So before you go to the doctor, before you go to your doctor's appointment, try these tips out. Talk to your partner and any caretakers of your baby about any concerns or any new things that you're seeing with your baby. Also, take notes on what things you would like to tell and ask the doctor. This is a great way because sometimes it's very busy and a lot's going on, so it's easy to forget certain things. So, writing them down can really help. Write down any symptoms if your child is sick. Also, try to provide as much information as you can because you know your child best. This is also a great time to use your developmental milestone sheets and app. I've talked about tracking these milestones before, but this can really help with any developmental concerns that you have for your child or that you can bring up to your doctor and see if there's any issues there. So what should they do during the doctor visit? So make sure you respect the doctor's time by arriving early. Let the office know if you're going to be late by calling them. Try scheduling well child or non-sick visits early. Offices are usually booked weeks and possibly months in advance. Silence your phone and focus your full attention on answering your doctor's questions and really try to stick to the reason for the visit. If you have more concerns outside of the current reason you're there for the visit, or there's a lot you want to go over, you can let the office know that you have a lot of concerns and that you'd like more time with the doctor, or possibly scheduling a second visit for your other concerns as well. What will the doctor do? So this can vary from the reason of the visit, but the doctor for the most part will monitor your child's health. This could be measuring their weight, their growth, if they're having issues with their temperature, they'll take their temperature as well. They'll also explain your child's growth and development and what you can expect. They'll also diagnose and treat any minor or moderate illnesses. They'll explain any illness and treatment that you have. Give you information about how to prevent injuries and keep your child safe. Those are good questions you can ask if you have those concerns. They'll also be able to provide referrals to work with specialists if your child needs specialized care, whether that's they need to see an ear, nose, and throat doctor, which they usually call an ENT, or if they need a referral for other services for delays or other getting other diagnoses such as like autism or ADHD. Your family doctor can also help you with exercise, nutrition, weight issues, behavioral, emotional issues, coping with family issues such as a death or separation and divorce. Those are things that you can ask your family doctor or the pediatrician about how to go over those things or talk about those things, because those are hard subjects to deal with when you're a parent. And then also, they'll help you understand and getting help for learning disabilities or developmental delays. So what should I do after the doctor visit? Before you leave, make sure you understand what follow-up appointments, lab tests, blood work, anything that your child needs. Take notes about any instructions to help you remember them. So if there's a specific instruction for a medication, feel free to take notes during the appointment, because it's very easy to forget those things, especially if you're tired and your child hasn't been sleeping, then you likely haven't been sleeping very good. So it's okay to take notes during the visit and ask those questions, and you can even ask them to write those out for you too, or type them out or print them out. If you don't understand how to give a medication or treatment, always ask a nurse or a doctor before you leave. If you do forget or you get confused when you get home, it's okay to ask the pharmacist when you go to pick up the medication, or also call the doctor's office too, and you can talk to usually a nurse and sometimes the doctor about how you give the medication. Also check in with the office if the prescribed medication is not working, or the symptoms get worse, or they develop new symptoms. Calling the office with questions about the symptoms can really save you and the doctor time and money, because you're calling and asking those questions and saying, hey, the antibiotics you gave my child, he still has a fever and it's been 2 days. And most times they'll up the dose, or if they do have more concerns, they'll have you come back in again. So it's a great way to ask those questions about those symptoms. Or sometimes it's, hey, it might take a little bit longer to work, or, oh, that's a side effect too. So that's a great time. Make sure you limit nighttime calls to more urgent issues. And if you do believe there's an urgent issue, make sure you're calling emergency services or going to an urgent care that's open. Be sure to give your baby snuggles and cuddles after their doctor visit and time to rest. Even kids of all ages, it can be very stressful going to the doctor. So try to give them praise when they do well at the doctor. And then after they do good at the doctor, they can get like a sticker or a sucker. And then also they can have free time at home to be with you and then rest as well. So since we're talking about having medication routines and possibly needing emergency services for your child if they get really sick, we're going to talk a little bit about safety at home for this slide. So make sure you have emergency contacts set up, and this is for other places, obviously. So at school, make sure if you can have emergency contacts listed besides you, just so that if they can't get a hold of you, then they have someone else that you trust that they can call. At home, have the numbers for your baby's doctor, poison control, local emergency services, and any allergies of your children posted in a place where a caretaker can find it. So I have pictures over here that show kind of those little plans up here. Sometimes local emergency services will give those out for free, but you can also print them and then tape them up to a refrigerator or inside a cabinet. I've seen many times. It's also helpful to have the address of your home written so it can be easily read to emergency services. Because even if you live at the home, it's easy to forget an emergency situation like that. So having it written out what to say, writing your address, 123 Main Street, Chicago, Illinois, having that just said, hey, this is where I'm at. You can just read that, and that can really help if you're stressed out or what's going on in that situation. You don't have to try to remember that. Always call the doctor's office for questions about medication. And then a big thing is tracking medications to make sure they are taken on time, because some medications, especially antibiotics or steroids or other medications, have to be taken at a certain time each day in order for them to be very effective. And usually it's the same time each day that you have to keep taking them. So feel free to check out my medication and routines and my medication safety presentation on the YouTube channel. And feel free to check out the medication tracker that I'll be posting below. I've also linked below, and it's linked in this slide, is emergency preparedness sheet. So it's very similar to these. So this sheet is just a little printable sheet where you'll just write your name, number, and it'll have local authorities, local emergency services, things like that you can write and then hang up in your home. So thank you for your time. Let me know if you have any questions below. Feel free to email me as well.